Everyone, welcome back to our channel where we dive into some of the most fascinating stories from history, faith, and adventure. I'm so glad you're here with me today, because we're about to embark on a journey that's filled with mystery, courage, and a little bit of the unexpected. Today, I'm taking you on a journey back in time, to the ancient city of Jericho. Imagine a city so old, it's considered one of the very first cities ever built by humans. Jericho sits in the heart of the Middle East, surrounded by desert and palm trees, and its story has echoed through thousands of years. Now Jericho wasn't just any city, it was famous for its towering walls, massive stone barriers that wrapped around the city like a protective shield. These walls were so big and thick, people thought they'd never ever fall. In fact, some historians believe the walls were so wide that two chariots could ride side by side on top. The people of Jericho felt safe and secure, confident that no enemy could ever break through. But then came Joshua and the Israelites. They'd been wandering the desert for years, 40 long years to be exact, after escaping slavery in Egypt. They faced hunger, thirst, and all kinds of challenges, but they never gave up hope. Jericho was their first big test in the Promised Land, the land they believed God had promised to their ancestors. The Israelites were a people on a mission, but they were also tired, nervous, and unsure of what would happen next. So what was their battle plan? Was it ladders, catapults, or battering rams? Did they gather their strongest warriors and prepare for a fierce attack? Nope. The Israelites didn't have the latest weapons or the biggest army. In fact, they probably felt a little outmatched by the mighty city of Jericho. But they had something even more powerful: faith, and a leader who listened to God. God gave Joshua some pretty unusual instructions. Instead of storming the city or launching a surprise attack, God told Joshua to do something that must have sounded a little strange. He said, "March around the city once a day for 6 days, take the priests with you and have them carry trumpets made from ram's horns. But don't attack, don't shout, and don't make any noise, just walk." Imagine being in Joshua's shoes, hearing this plan. It must have taken a lot of courage to trust and obey, especially when everyone was counting on him. For 6 days, the Israelites marched around the city walls once a day. Just marching. No shouting, no fighting, just quiet footsteps and the sound of trumpets echoing through the air. The people of Jericho must have watched from their walls, confused and maybe even a little amused. What are they doing? They might have wondered. But the Israelites kept going, day after day, trusting that God had a plan, even if it didn't make sense to anyone else. But on the 7th day, everything changed. The Israelites woke up early, hearts pounding with anticipation. This time God told them to march around the city not once but 7 times. The tension was thick in the air. Everyone, men, women, and children, knew that something big was about to happen, but no one knew exactly what. They circled the city 7 times, and then, at Joshua's signal, everyone shouted as loud as they could. The sound of thousands of voices and trumpets filled the air, echoing off the stone walls. It was a moment of pure faith and unity. Every single person giving their all, trusting that something incredible was about to happen. And guess what? The mighty walls of Jericho came tumbling down, just like that. Stones crashed to the ground, dust filled the air, and the impossible became possible right before their eyes. The Israelites rushed in, amazed and grateful, knowing that this victory wasn't because of their strength or cleverness, but because they had trusted and obeyed. Not because of strength or fancy weapons, but because they trusted and followed God's plan, even when it sounded a little strange. Sometimes the greatest victories in life come when we let go of our own ideas and trust in something bigger than ourselves. The Israelites learned that faith isn't always about doing what makes sense. It's about listening, trusting, and taking that first step, even when you're scared. Jericho's story isn't just about walls falling. It's about faith, listening, and sticking together as a family, no matter how impossible something might seem. When the Israelites marched, they did it together. They supported each other, encouraged each other, and believed together. That's what made them strong. And that's a lesson we can all take with us, whether we're facing a big challenge at school, at home, or anywhere in life. So next time you're facing a big challenge, remember Jericho. Sometimes, the biggest victories come from the smallest steps, and a little bit of faith. Maybe you're trying to learn something new, make a new friend, or overcome a fear. It might feel impossible at first, but if you take it one step at a time, trust yourself, and lean on the people who care about you, you might be surprised at what you can accomplish. Just like the Israelites, you don't have to do it alone. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. I hope the story of Jericho inspires you to face your own walls with courage, faith, and the support of your friends and family. Remember, every great journey starts with a single step, and sometimes, the most amazing things happen when you least expect them. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more amazing stories. If you enjoyed this video, share it with someone who might need a little encouragement today. And let me know in the comments, what's your Jericho? What big challenge are you facing and how can we support each other? See you next time for another incredible adventure.